Hi, my name is Alex and I'm the chairman and founder of Biela.dev. Biela.dev is basically a GPT for building software. With Biela, you're able, just by talking to it or prompting, to build your own software, either if it's a web software or mobile app or even a blockchain application. For the moment, any kind of web app can be built with Biela. Within the next few weeks, the mobile app, and in Q2 2026, blockchain development will be released as well. Let's dive into Biela.dev and understand how powerful it is, what it makes it different compared to Lovable, Bold, and Base44, and how a company which invested fraction compared to its competitors successfully created a software which is much better than its current competition into the market. What we are going to do is that we are going to start using our AI assistant, which is basically your private CTO. So it's not just a voice which you are talking to in order to write your prompt without you being required to type it in, but it's actually a private CTO which understands your project, which helps you plan it better, which has access to all the tools inside of the platform. And like this, basically you are guided as a user, even if you don't have any kind of technical background. Doesn't matter the language, it speaks multiple languages. It's basically there for you to help you build your software. Enough talking, so let's dive into it. Starting with the AI assistant, basically it allows you to select it as a builder or as a thinker. The builder is much faster, it's gonna take your input as a decision, when the thinker is going to help you plan better your project. It's gonna do some web research over your business, your competitors, is gonna understand the industry standards, even if you're just, let's say, like a barber shop or a factory who needs to build an entire software for managing the platform. So it's addressed from the small businesses up to large-scale software development. I'm going to choose the thinker this time because I want to show you the full picture of what your private CTO can do for you. And I'm going to start with a project in my plan it's to create a simple website. However, in this website, I want to be sure that I'm including everything of what means capabilities of Biela. We are going to create a database so we can manage our website from a back office if we want. We are going to have custom videos, custom images, and many other things. I kind of prepared myself a little prompt, which I'm going to work with only to have an idea. But we are going to see together how the thinker is going to deep dive into the idea which I have in order to comprehensively come with maybe new features or suggestions, or why not agree with me in case everything is fine and start coding. While Biela is coding, we are going to dive in together into all the features of Biela and discover them together. So let's start.
Hey, ready to build something awesome? I can help in two ways. Want me to guide you through crafting the perfect prompt with strategic questions and brutal honesty? Or do you already have a clear vision and prefer to describe it directly?
I would like you to guide me, but I have also an initial thought over my vision. So I'm going to tell you what is my idea, what I would like to create, and then you can come up with suggestions and help me if it's anything else you think I missed or we could add extra.
Sounds great. Let's get the skeleton of this application built right away so you have a solid foundation. While that builds, we can dive deep into the strategy and advanced features. Tell me, what's the main goal of this application? What should the user achieve with it?
All right, so check this out. I have a company, it's called Asymmetric. It's an avant-garde fashion collection. And I want to build a website for my asymmetric fashion collection, and I have a few requirements. I don't want any traditional grid layouts. I want bento style type of a homepage. I want overlapping elements, Mansory gallery, split screen sections. I want text that overlays the images, sticky elements, and the layout itself, the business itself, it has to be a statement of design. Reject the conventional structure. From here on, I would like to have a editorial look and feel with one accent color which can make everything look beautiful. To tell you more about my business, we are basically an avant-garde fashion collective and nothing more. Can you help me further? I don't know what else to tell you other than that.
Wow, this sounds like an incredible project. Building a website that's as avant-garde as your asymmetric collection, that's a statement of design in itself. I'm ready to help you craft the perfect prompt to bring this to life. You've already given me some fantastic direction with the bento-style homepage, overlapping elements, masonry galleries, and split screen sections. To make this editorial look and feel truly stunning, do you have a specific accent color in mind, or would you like me to suggest one?
I don't know. Let's say your choice.
Let's go with a deep magenta color. Something bold and contrasting to make the design really pop and be striking. To
So
build the
are we gonna
unique
go
layout you
for
are envisioning,
something?
we'll need to define what kind of content will go into each section. Do you have specific pieces or images that should be highlighted in the homepage's bento-style grid?
No, I don't have that. So basically we are gonna go for something like black and white and this accent color magenta, which you told me. I would like, in terms of structure, that you create straight away a comprehensive structure, which I'm not gonna look over it now. We are taking this as a template. And most important, obviously, is to have a back office from where I'm going to be able to edit all the content inside of my presentation website. I will connect to the database later after the first phase of the project.
You've got it clear. Black and white with a deep magenta accent. And you want a comprehensive structure for the entire website, including a back office for content management, and we'll connect it to a database later. That sounds like a solid plan. Let's start with the prompt for the homepage and back office. Excellent. I will create a comprehensive structure for both the editorial website and the back office you'll use for content management. We'll focus on the unique layout elements you want with the magenta accent color, and make sure everything is ready to be connected to a database in a future phase. Let me generate the prompt for that. I have created the prompt with the details you provided. It includes the unique layout, the color palette with magenta, and a back office structure ready for database integration in a later phase. You can edit the prompt in the chat input if you need to make any changes.
And if I don't want any changes, can we start coding it?
Yes, absolutely. Once you are ready, you can send the prompt to start generating the code.
Well,
The code
I don't want to send a prompt, I want you to send a prompt. I'm not touching the keyboard. Alright, so while Biela is writing the code, we are going now to deep dive into some of the functionalities which we have in Biela. After the first phase of the website is going to be created, I'm going to connect to the database as well, so we can see how easily you can connect your project to a database without being required to know any kind of development. When a project is created with Biela, we can observe in the left side the chat area. Here is where you are going either to build your project or plan your project. Sometimes we need to understand it's very important to chat with the AI and to plan with it to have a better plan in the building phase. As for example, you're going to ask to review the code in some phases, or maybe you want to add new features, so the AI is going to do more research over the available libraries, is going to propose you different features, and so on and so on. On the right side we have the code area. Here is where we are going to see, after Biela is planning the entire phase of your project, how all the files are written, and we are going to be able even to write on top of the code if we want to. So the product is addressed both for those who are professional developers, but also especially for those who they never wrote a line of code in their life, but they would like to launch their own software. On the preview side, it's where you are going to be able to preview the results of the developments done by Biela. In the code part, coming back here, we have the terminal. Terminal is basically the server which hosts your current project, which is generated directly and especially for your project only, to which you have access to control your own project. Every time a new prompt is sent, Biela is automatically saving that iteration into the GitHub. This allows you to have the history option. It allows you to revert, maybe it's something which you don't like it, so you will always have a version, actually all the versions of your previously iterated software, so you can navigate easily from iteration to another. Now, coming back to the preview, It will be when the project is going to be ready. And on the code part, just to review, we will have the side where Biela is writing the code. Content Studio, it's an important area because the Content Studio allows us not only to upload our own images, our own videos, but also to use AI Media Studio in order to create and generate new images with AI and implement them directly in our project. Content, it's always an issue when it comes about creating your business. You always have this, oh, I don't have images, I don't have videos, where I'm going to take them. But with Biela, all these issues are resolved with only one image from your business. Actually, even an image of your office or something, Biela will get the understanding and it will develop towards that look and feel. It can create a video out of that image and you can upload it into your project. Into the settings, if we are diving here, we see we have the project information, which is currently under generation because the project is not ready yet. We have the databases where we can create a new database or use an existing one if we are already connected, which is the case here. You can connect your domain name and very soon you will be able to purchase a new domain name from us and directly it will be connected to your project. And you have a knowledge base. The knowledge base is the place where you can add general informations over your business or the code base, but we are going to dive a little bit later into this, in where Biela is going to respect those rules which you add there every time. Now, coming back to the current project, we see here the server already installed all the packages required for your project and it's already starting to code your project. Now, if we want to do a simple comparison with, let's say, Anthropic or with ChatGPT or maybe Grok, we need to understand that these large language models are the foundation for something like Biela, but you will never be able to create a full complete software with it. All what you're going to get is a sample, is like a small template, a piece of a software. It helps you eventually to understand errors in the code. When it comes about Biela, here on the left side, we always have the chance to choose between multiple large language models. So maybe if you're not happy with the results generated by Claude 4.5 Opus, you can move to the Sonnet, you can go to a GLM 4.7, which is considerably cheaper than Claude, or Grok, or Gemini, and very soon you will be able to implement or to connect your own custom large language model. This is very important, especially when we will have enterprise usage, because maybe enterprise, they will never want to share their data with a public large language model, so they will be able to connect their own private large language model straight from their own office. Coming back to the chat area, we have the option to attach files. We can either attach different files in order to give context to Biela over our business or interest of development, or we can attach files to be included in our project as images or whatsoever. Name it, and Biela, if you can imagine it, it can code it. It can even generate videos, photos, as I said. But we will see how all these things, they come together in a little while. You have the voice input. Don't confuse the voice input with the live assistant. There are two different things. The live assistant, don't forget, is your private CTO. He has the capability to watch into the files, to understand the code. He has knowledge over your project. He can control the entire platform. It can deploy your project. It can connect to your domain name. Very soon he's going to be able to do the SEO for you and many other stuff. The voice input, it's only the capability, so instead of you writing each prompt, you're just going to talk to Biela and the prompt is going to be written here, but has no access to the tools. On the top side, we have the build and plan, which we discovered already, and we have the control center. In the control center here, we find a few important options, and here we can understand the deep dive into the technology. The RAC mode is basically smart file processing, where the AI gets only the relevant files. And this is something extremely important, as large language models, they have something which is called context window. And context window, it's limited, usually between 200,000 tokens up to 1 million tokens. The bigger will be your project, the bigger files it will have. The more files it has, the higher is going to be the context window. And once you reach a limit, you're not able to develop anymore. This is the use case of some of our competitors, and now we understand also why you will never be able to create full functional software using ChatGPT or Anthropic Chat or any kind of large language model which is running as a general LLM. Then we have the web search. Once activated, the AI has now access not only to its own training data, but it will also go live, go in the world, do a deep search over the kind of interest you have, the question, the request, and it's going to gather the data, combine it, and come up with a better result for you. We have the design mode, which is an extremely important part. Here, when design mode is activated, an entire team of UI UX expert designers are going to look over your project and either develop it further or improve the current one. However, when a first prompt is sent to Biela, the design team, it's there always for you, and we will understand the features in a while. We have an auto error handling, an extremely important feature, and we will understand why. As we are the owners and the developers of our own web container, and we are not using third-party software developments for the web container as our competition does, and I want to mention this because the web container is what it creates. First of all, our technology is so different. There is one company which is well known in the industry of the vibe coding, providing the web containers for the entire industry. However, we are not dependent on that one. We are not using webcontainers.io, which solely had to invest over $600 million to create this piece of a software. However, we developed our own web container system, which first of all, it translates in less cost for the user, and most important, it translates into very high versatility in future developments. Because it's not a closed system, we are not accessing it through an API, we control the code. And that's why Biela is capable in developing not only web apps, but also mobile apps, blockchain apps, and games as well by the end of 2026. Let's understand a little bit how the error classification system works. We are going to be able to detect any kind of database errors, any kind of server errors, and any kind of code errors. These errors, once captured by Biela, she has the capability to automatically resolve them. So your experience is flawless. Large language models, they have what is called hallucination, and in many cases we will have errors, right? Which is something pretty normal when you do vibe coding. Even if we compare it with a real use case in the real life, developers, they are doing errors as well. However, Biela has the capability, if you are going to the control center and you are activating the auto error handling, to autocorrect all these errors for you. At the moment when the files are written, even if there is a slightly error in the code, there is a second AI which behind the scene is already correcting all these errors. In case the second AI, which is running on top of the first layer of the AI, which is the one writing your files, has not fixed these errors yet, the auto error handling itself is going to take care of them. So your experience is going to be flawless. Coming back to the RAG system, in order for you now to understand the big picture, is that the higher is your project, the higher is going to be the token consumption. But when you are using the RAG system which we developed in the entire ecosystem behind the scenes running in Biela, you are saving a lot of tokens. For the moment, I'm going to pause my voice assistant. So what we see here is the first phase of Biela being completed. As we can see, there are multiple agents behind which are planning our entire project. They get a deep understanding, they prepare section by section, and then all the files are automatically created into the server, and we can easily navigate through them if we want to, and we can even edit them. However, once the entire first phase of the build has been created, Biela has an auto validation which understands what has been missed and what has not been coded out of what already has been planned, because always AI will skip and it will always have its own kind of self-validation as the job has been completed, even though the entire plan which has been initially done was not successfully respected. So what you are seeing now is that we are detecting what did we miss actually from the initial plan of my project, and Biela automatically is going now to take care of these fixes. How this works is that it is identifying exactly the piece of code in each file which has to be updated, and is going to go and apply a diff mode. Means that not the entire file is going to be rewritten from scratch, but only exactly the lines where we need to apply the edit in order to be able to do the update for our software. That's also very time efficient and very cost efficient. However, usually if the changes are very big, roughly between 70 to 80%, you might experience the entire rewrite of the file because it's more efficient. When there are only a few changes, you can always follow here how many lines of code they have been added, how many they have been removed. It will have the capability now, understanding the diff mode and the rag mode, to get the files exactly which they have to be edited, define which lines of code they have to edit in each single page, and as you can see, this is how it's editing your software, so you can have always an efficient way of working, not just by winning time but also cost. We can see exactly on the top side, if so far we would have developed this piece of software with a development team, we would have had a cost of almost $1,100. However, Biela token cost, it was only $1.88. This is an extreme difference. It's uncomparable. I want you to think that even if you want to try a new business right now, it's only a few bucks for you to try your idea and to take it live out there. The second validation starts for Biela right now in order to make sure that everything is perfect. There is a downside, but there is also an upside, and I'm going to explain you. Truly speaking, the downside in this situation is the time which you have to offer to Biela. You have to give the time to make sure that the quality, which not only us, but you also should expect out of a vibe coding project, is there. You don't want a project to be just fast. And let's be honest, when you start your online business, a 5 to 6 to even 10 minutes difference between Biela and the competitors will not make any difference. But the complete difference in the look and feel, design, experience, no errors, all these together, they do make the difference when it comes about your business. So I would rather spend 7 to 10 minutes more and allow Biela to deliver me a top-notch product instead of rushing it to 7, 8, maybe 10 minutes as the other competitors and get a mediocre result. So as you can see in this entire plan here, there are some serious changes which Biela decided to do currently, especially for a few of the files. Meanwhile, if I want, in the entire plan, if I want to start my project, I can still start it, but I would like to leave this moment for the final, result, because I believe the impact is going to be more beautiful if we see the final result and not the intermediary results, while Biela it's still finding, coding and fixing all the initially planned, steps which were self-agreed but skipped. Basically, you have to see this validation as a way to fix the entire hallucination of the AI large language models. Is this going to be forever? I don't believe so. The AI large language models, they become better and better and better. So there it is. Here is our website. And for the matter of the test, I just want to open it in a new tab to show you more. Before I go and we dive into this, we have to understand that Biela is directly creating your software full responsive for mobile. Now let's take a deep look into Biela straight as an entire screen. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to clear my cookies, as this website has been already opened by us into the web container in Biela. And I'm going to reload it so we can get the entire experience of Biela. So it created for me a beautiful entrance. I have a custom cursor and automatically generated for me the videos for my website and the images, which, by the way, videos and images generated while the project has been already created, we can find them in the Content Studio. And if we would like to edit one of them, we can just click on it. And we have here a small icon which says AI image edit, and I can simply go here and I can prompt to Biela which other edits I would like to bring to my images. So it's for the first time in the world when an AI vibe coding software is not only generating you the videos and the images, but they do make sense in the project which you are creating. They are one united piece of a software together, so you don't need to worry about that as well. Coming back to our results, we can see we have nice scrolls, we have beautiful micro interactions with our website. This is where the 5 minutes are making the difference, right? We have asymmetric design, we have beautiful fonts, everything is absolutely pixel perfect. Look at this, nothing is missing, right? This is an extremely hard work, to which obviously I want to thank to my team for more than a year and a half of continuous sleepless nights. Now, is this a full website? Yes, it is. It's not just the homepage, it's not just a piece of a website, it already generated for us the entire software. So even if I'm picky and I want to come with new things, I still have a very low cost which I had to develop my own website. And now if I'm going back to Biela, I see the final cost after all these edits and changes, including the video generation, all the images which you generated in Biela, it's less than $4. Now that we understand how Biela works, let's see if we can just connect it to a database. And I would like to have a back office which allows me to edit my website. However, in this scenario, if you ask me, it would not be so efficient. Why? Because any kind of changes I would like to bring to my project, I could simply open my Biela project, prompt it to Biela and do the update. Why I should have an entire back office when Biela can do it for you? But for the purpose, let's say you're going to have an e-commerce and you want to have a back office and you want to use databases, I'm just going to create a CMS which is allowing me to edit my content inside of my current website. So the first step for that, I'm going to go to code. And right here we have connect database. So I can either create a new database or I can connect it directly to an existing database which is under my Supabase account. If you want to connect for your own account of Supabase, in settings, databases as I mentioned, once you are disconnected you can click connect, just connect with your credentials, and that's it. You are connected to Supabase. It's so simple. You don't need to do nothing else. As you can see now, the project info is clear. I can download my project files if I want to. I can duplicate it in order for me to keep different versions of my software if I want to, or I can simply share this with one of my colleagues in order to work simultaneously over the same project if we want to. I can choose my project to be private, I can choose my project to be secret or publicly available for everyone. Also, if you're a developer, you can connect straight away with your GitHub, or maybe you have already a project, a website, a piece of a software which would you like to edit, and we are coding in multiple development languages including Next.js, Vue.js, any kind of front-end and back-end, including Python if you would like to. However, coming back to the databases, I can just go here and I'm going to create now a new database especially for this project. Alright, so as you can see, Biela also detects if you have too many projects, which in my case, it is the case. I have too many projects. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go to Biela.dev and I'm going to choose one of the projects which I want to remove. I'm going to take this project and I'm going to go to project settings and remove one of my projects in order to be able to create a new one. Supabase is also offering you pretty good, or 2 or 3 projects which you can connect for free. I'm going to retry now the connection. It should normally work if we removed already one of the available spots. So as you can see, Biela created the database for you. Now is retrieving the credentials of your database by itself. It starts coding the entire database for you and is going to connect your project to the database. You don't have to do nothing, it's just a few clicks away. And we are going to create together also a login into our own back office. We're going to play a little bit with it. So I think everything is going to be pretty clear after that. Here we can see what kind of options we enabled into the control center. So we always keep an eye over what is available. Now that the database has been created, you have different options and you can choose how would you like to start. Would you like to create a complete database, or would you like just a basic scheme, or something specific which you have in your mind? I'm gonna go with full, so I'm not gonna be easy on him, and I'm gonna just say like that. I'm not gonna even write nothing. It's a simple copy paste. Biela has already the understanding and is going to start now creating me the database. If I'm going here into Supabase and I'm going to refresh my projects, I can already see that I have here the asymmetric editorial platform, and if I'm going to the table editor, I can see already the database is created but no tables. So that's exactly what Biela is doing now. It's applying the migration, it's creating all the tables, and everything is ready for you. This is not something which a regular user should know about. If he only creates an account with Supabase and he clicks connect, that's it. Everything else, it happens in the background. You don't need any kind of technical background. However, if you're a developer which would like to have a little bit more detailed data over his database, you know already most probably how this works. So now it defined exactly which tables they have to be created according to the structure of your current project, and is creating for you even the admin user. Meanwhile, I'm going to explain you the deploy. Once your project is ready and you want to have it live, it's nothing more easy than this button. You just click it and your website is live. In case you have already a domain name, or you want to purchase one from us, when you click the deploy button, the website or your project, wherever it is an e-commerce website, is a mobile app, however, is going to be live directly. While Biela is coding or it's doing your database or whatsoever, you can still use the Content Studio. You don't have to wait for that. I'm going to take this image from here. I'm going to go AI image edit. Meanwhile, Biela is still working in the background. I can either choose to have access visually only to the Content Studio, but don't worry, nothing happens with the AI agents running in the background, creating and developing your database, which I believe step by step it should start to be created. As we can see, the articles, the admin users, categories, media, and so on. So Biela is doing its job here. We can still edit this. In order to do that, we can always choose between the aspect ratio, quality which we want, the size of the image. For the sake of the test, what we are going to do now is that we are going to stop the stream while Biela is working in the middle of a task. Let's assume your internet connection is down or something else happened, so you just want to stop now working. No problem. You can always stop your project even in the middle of the task, and you can ask Biela to continue. However, while Biela is writing the code for you, you can still use the Content Studio, and here you can either generate images, videos, edit the current existing ones. It doesn't matter. So as you can see, a new video has been generated to me. If I want to, I can save it to my library. I can put a new title for it. Let's say I can have from here avant-garde stage. I'm gonna give it a nice tag for SEO if I want to, and all I have to do is just to upload it. Once uploaded into my files, I can now even edit it if I want to, or I can click on it and I can use it in my project. If I click use in my project, it's automatically added into the chat box, so I can prepare my next prompt. I would like to have this video on the hero section, for example, and this video is going to go into your hero section instead of the current existing one. It's very simple. In case you change your mind, all you have to do is click here, click one more time, and remove the selection from your chat box. This is going to help you to remove it. You can always create and organize folders. You can search through your images. So Content Studio is basically an entire AI image video generation, creating and editing model inside of your coding system. Now what Biela does is that it replaces all the static data from inside of your project and is going to migrate it inside of your database, which is connected to the back office already created, to which we will have access in a minute, and is migrating them into the database. As we can see, already it created for us the admin user, we have admin@asymmetric.com. It's a super admin type of a user. And here we have the articles that are migrated, the full articles, the authors, categories, media, and so on and so on. If you would like even to create the option for you to be able to add new pages or to add new articles, all you have to do is to ask Biela, and automatically it will create for you not only the front end functionality for that, but also the back end functionality connected straight away with the already connected database. Alright, so now that we created a database and we are connected to it, we have two options. Either we build a back office admin panel so we can manage the articles, or we can see more sample articles. I'm going to go even further than that. I would like to build the entire back office panel from where I'm able to manage everything, not just my articles, right? As you can see, auto error handling was on. Biela found already a database error. It took over the error and now is fixing the error both into the code but also into the database if it's the case, right? So let's see the result. So as you can see, we had already some edits into the database, but also a few edits into our files. Alright, now that the error has been fixed, I'm going to come back over what Biela was asking me, if I would like option A and option B. But before that, I just want to go to my website here. I want to refresh it and I want to see if my admin link is working or not. Well, it's working. I have now a full dashboard and an admin in order for me to be able to add, delete, remove articles, everything. So as you can see, everything is up and running. I have a full website now with an entire business dashboard which helps me managing my entire platform. All of this for a cost under $40, let's say like that. It's almost $36, but take in consideration when I'm generating a video or an image, which I already did, that's also a cost which comes out of your tokens. However, my business is up, live and running, and less than 30 minutes with a cost of a coffee and a breakfast. Thank you very much for watching me, for watching Biela. Thank you for your support, and we are waiting you on Biela.dev.